In a small, peaceful countryside town in Japan, there's a tiny street stall that makes anyone passing by stop and take a second look. Not because of the special goods it offers, but because the assistant behind the counter is none other than a dog. His name is Ken, a Shiba Inu who is smart, loyal, and strangely lovable. Every morning, Mr. Suzuki, Ken's owner, sets up the stall with some fresh fruits, a few bottles of drinks, and some local snacks. Then he returns inside to take care of other chores. The one watching the stall? That's Ken's job. Ken sits upright behind the counter, his bright eyes and calm demeanor catching the attention of every passerby. When a customer approaches, Ken bows slightly, wagging his tail cheerfully. Locals and tourists alike feel a warm joy from being welcomed by a dog. The first customer who saw the scene burst out laughing, the second took a photo, the third started a live stream, and just like that, Ken became a sensation. The super serious shopkeeper dog, that's what the online community called him. No hat, no apron, yet Ken's face always carried an unbelievably serious expression. Everyone else could laugh, but not Ken. Some days, the stall gets unusually crowded, perhaps because a post about Ken went viral on social media. People come to buy, to take photos, and to meet him. Sometimes, a small crowd forms around the stall, but everyone patiently takes turns for a chance to interact with Ken. Miraculously, on such days, all the goods are sold out before noon. When Mr. Suzuki returns, he finds Ken sitting calmly behind an empty counter, and bursts into laughter. Mr. Suzuki shared, "I didn't train him at all. He just started sitting there on his own, ever since he was little. It's like he somehow understands his responsibility." At first, Mr. Suzuki would pull Ken away, worried he might get tired, but as soon as he turned his back, Ken would quietly sneak out and return to the same spot. In summer, Ken lay still under the shade, ears alert to every approaching step. In winter, snow blanketed the eaves, yet Ken still sat there, his eyes sparkling behind a veil of warm breath. One afternoon, when no customers were around, Ken suddenly noticed something fall to the ground near the stall. It was a man's wallet, dropped by the young customer who had just made a purchase and walked away. Ken barked a few short barks as if signaling something, then picked up the wallet gently in his mouth and ran after the young man. Mr. Suzuki, hearing the barks, came out and hurried after them. Ken caught up with the man, stopped him, and offered the wallet back. The young man, realizing he had dropped it, took it with both hands and bowed to thank Ken. Ken didn't understand the words, but he sensed the emotion in the man's eyes. He wagged his tail and gently lifted a paw, as if offering comfort. One evening, while Mr. Suzuki was watering plants, Ken suddenly left the stall and ran toward the end of the street. Alarmed, Mr. Suzuki followed. Not far away, a little girl stood crying alone in a row of closing shops. She had no adult with her. Ken calmly stood beside her, as if to guard her. The girl stopped walking, stood close to Ken, and gradually stopped crying. Just then, a frantic woman's voice called out, searching for her child. It was the girl's mother, terrified and desperate. Seeing her daughter beside Ken, she dropped to her knees and hugged the girl tightly, then bowed deeply to thank Mr. Suzuki and Ken, tears of relief streaming down her cheeks. From a shop dog that made people smile, Ken became a small symbol of loyalty, sensitivity, and kindness. Mr. Suzuki's stall, watched over by Ken, still opens every day. Some come to shop, others come just to take a photo with Ken, or simply sit beside him, sip a cool drink, and feel a gentle moment of peace in life. Many years have passed, and Ken is still the shop's most loyal employee. No salary, no days off, yet always on time, always in the right place. Ken's story is not just something adorable, but a gentle reminder of devotion, responsibility, and the unspoken bond between humans and animals. Perhaps the world is not short of miracles. But sometimes, miracles come in the form of a Shiba Inu behind a stall, cheerfully wagging his tail, quietly helping people with all his heart. Thank you for staying with us until the end. Every view, every heart that connects is a little light that keeps us going. See you again in the next story from the Paw Light.